I'm going to talk about transitions and, the plan that you might have in your life might not be the exact one that you end up doing, right? So let me ask you guys a question. Who has a mother here? I mean, it should be everyone in this room, right? All right, a couple more, right? All right. If my mother if she had it her way, what would I be? I would be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, and probably all three together at the same time. Not sure how, maybe an astronaut, life has other plans, and I didn't really follow the status quo. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and how I ended up here. My name is Stephiney Foley. I was born in Shanghai. I immigrated to the United States when I was 8 years old. I grew up in New York City, this beautiful city, but something happened in 2001 that really changed my life. As some of you guys might not be old enough to know this, but 9/11 happened. It was the first week of high school for me. And I remember sitting in algebra class and watching the Twin Towers. And that one moment, I was like, man, are they making a movie? What's happening? Because it's so hard to fathom that someone would attack this great country of ours. And it happened. I went to school in Brooklyn. I lived in Manhattan at the time. I walked across the Brooklyn Bridge in the debris. And there were millions of New Yorkers just covered in the debris and watching the unfathomable that happened to our nation. The towers fell. Then the Pentagon got hit. And other areas got hit. It was just unreal. And so that changed the course of my life. As an immigrant, I was like, what can I do? How can I serve this great nation that's given me so much? I ended up going to West Point. No affiliation with the military, had no idea what I was getting into, had no clue. They were like, hey, you have to run 2 miles. I was like, I think I can walk it. And so I was actually I went back and looked at the historical record. I was one of 2 Chinese women that graduated in 5 years. And thank you. I think this just tells you, sometimes serendipity happens. You might have a plan in your head, and you might not follow that plan. Graduated from West Point, then I ended up, so my hypothesis was, hey, here's a plan, right? So when you graduate from West Point, you have to serve active duty for 5 years and 3 years reserve. And my mom was like, yes, she's gonna be the next General Shinseki, right? And I was like, there's never been an Asian woman as a general, so my mom was very excited. Again, back to my mother, a lot of issues. My husband's here, he knows. A lot of things in my life happens that's kind of as a result of my mother. I think a lot of you guys can feel that. So I really thought my life was set. I thought I was gonna spend my 20 years in the Army, 30 years in the Army, and become the first Chinese-American general officer. But life changed. Life had other plans. I met my wonderful husband. We realized that dual military was not the best thing for our family. That's me in the military. I ended up going to Tesla. I know Elon's not our fan right now. I know. It's not, but I joined Tesla because I believed in his mission on accelerating sustainability, because I cared about what our generation is going to have to deal with in terms of global warming. So that was, at the time, that's a different Elon now, so but that was my first, and I was like, okay, that's a good next step. Then I went to Amazon. That's actually my last day at Amazon. Because I was like, man, what an amazing company that you can get 1 to 2 day delivery. I mean, that's kind of cool. And then, I got a little big. So my experiment, I started testing the unexpected. And what changed was when I had my first kid. And this is me smiling with my firstborn. Thank you. I have 2 kids, 5 and 3. They're 2 boys. Did not expect that. 1 and 2 girls. But, I might be smiling in this picture, but what you guys don't know was that I had postpartum depression. It was 9 p.m. on a Friday night, and I was driving from Seattle to Tacoma. I loaded up my 2 kids, an infant and a toddler, in the back of my RAV4. Sounds like a rap song, but I was driving, and it was raining, and I was like, oh my God, they were crying, I was crying. I was like, please just go to bed. I had already worked a 100-hour work week that week, and my husband had already worked out. He was still working, actually, at the time. And so I drove, and then for that split moment, I was like, what if I just end it all here? 85% of women in America have perinatal mood anxiety disorder. They don't even know it. I didn't know until I had an intervention from my friends 2 years later. So what did I do? I did something about it. I opened up the first postpartum retreat in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you. What's a postpartum retreat? It's a wraparound care where we rally around the mother and the family so that we can create just an experience that they don't have to go through it alone. Because motherhood is about a village, about having people around you. But guess what? It failed, actually. It was very hard in terms of unit economics, and we had many clients that came through. Actually, I only have 2 negative 1-star reviews on Google, and they were because we shut the retreat down, because they were so upset. Unfortunately, because it's not part of our zeitgeist to be like, hey, as a mother, you need to take care of yourself after you deliver a baby. In Denmark, they have Kromsorgs, where they have nurses come into your house and take care of you. In China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, they have these postpartum retreats where 90% of women go to them for 60 days and above. And I'm sharing this because I was so frustrated because I was like, I brought this beautiful thing here, but why aren't mothers coming? And it's because it's not part of our cultural norms. So what do? I go back to the drawing table. We go back to the customers. We're building an AI-powered managed marketplace where we can help you plan the entire experience from beginning to end. So you can discover, book, and manage your perinatal care experience. Because guess what? Babies don't come with a manual. I think a lot of people think they do, but they don't. And you can't return them. So learning from the unexpected. So these are the things that we uncovered. 85% of mothers experience some kind of perinatal care, like postpartum depression. And 14% of new mothers go undiagnosed. I actually think that number is a lot higher. That was my wedding song. Thanks, you guys. 14% of mothers go undiagnosed, and 33% of mothers experience lasting health issues. I think that number is higher. But guess what? To Christy's point, less than 2% of venture funding goes to women, and less than 1% goes to women's health. Oh, God forbid, women, 51% of the population have different health needs. But guess what? There's no research to back that up, and this is very sparse. So top challenges for mothers: breastfeeding, mental health, lack of sleep. Having a child is like basically getting hazed. And I was in the military, I know. And these are some consequences to inadequate support. United States, as a developing country, has the worst maternal mortality rate. And with all the policies that's coming down, there's so many maternal care desert, meaning a lot of care providers are actually walking from those states and cannot provide care. So why now? Because, like I said, we're focused on pregnancy, which rightfully so, but we also need to kind of open up the spectrum to continue to focus on postpartum. All right, so what is my takeaway? Demand better, because we deserve better. I actually do have 3 takeaways for you guys. 1, I would say women's health is not a niche market. It is a generational health problem, because a healthy mom is a healthy baby and a healthy family. The second one is you don't have to have it all figured out. For the young folks in here, as you've seen, I've done a lot of random stuff that don't all connect together, but it brought me to where I am today, and it has made me better for it. So go out, test, iterate, and learn from your experiences. The third one is let's build a world where mothers are cared for, because it is so important for our next generation. Thank you. And I'll add a 4th because I did not expect my husband to show up today, because he usually doesn't exist. Because he's so busy taking care of our children. Yeah, I would say the 4th lesson is find yourself an amazing partner that is just truly equal, and a life partner that can support you in everything that you're doing. Thank you.